Hi guys, I think this is the last segment for children's organization in their bedrooms. I think it'll go by very quickly, but if it doesn't, there'll be a part 4. But I believe this is going to be just the last one, and it's going to be part 3 because we're going to tackle the creative zone and the office zone and the quiet zone, and I think those are pretty simple because some of the ideas we've already talked about in the dressing zone, and you'll see why. I have seen parents, now when I was growing up we had a toy box, and when my kids were growing up we used a toy box. It probably wasn't the best system, but we worked around it. That's how we use it. But a lot of people don't like the toy box because it's where toys go to the bottom, and it's hard for kids to find what they're looking for. And it's hard for them to find what they're looking for, and sometimes kids will take every single toy out of the toy box just to find what they're looking for at the bottom. Now, I am not the type of person that wants let's tackle Legos, for example. I'm not that parent that's going to force my kids to put all the reds, the grays, the greens, the blues, the whites. I just don't feel like that's going to happen. My kids would have never have done that. So I'm not a super detailed organizer that way, but if that's the way you and your kids work and you're able to reinforce the real detailed organizing, go for it, do what works for you. But I suggest one bin for all the Legos. Now, I did see a great idea though. Someone took a wooden drawer. For me, I would suggest putting a hinge on the front of the drawer so it can be laid down for easier access. But they put those Lego flooring all over the bottom of a drawer, and that's where they built all their creations inside there. They made their roads and towns and all their creations, and then they could just slide that drawer right under the bed and nothing had to be taken apart. It could stay till the next time they pulled it out. I think that's a beautiful idea. What I did was I had a bin that they had all the Legos in, and that bin went under the bed, and then their little creations that they didn't want to destroy, those went on a shelf. So that is up to you. You can decorate with all their creations, or they can, you can come up with so many creative ideas. Now, here's one idea that I thought I might use for my son, and I never did, and I don't know how practical it is, but it looked really cool. Someone made a Lego board and stuck it on the wall, and then they could play on the Lego wall. I don't know. I never could really wrap my head around how that worked. It looked super cool, but anyway. Toys can be divided by 3 seasons in the creative zone. You can have toys for every season. I would say, and I'm not saying the toys themselves are seasonal. I'm just saying every 3 months you can, every new season you can bring out a new set of toys, so it's not it's fresh and new. That's all I'm saying. Now books, they can be seasonal. They can, you can have your holiday books and have all your books seasonal, but your toys can be divided into 4 groups. 3 seasons, and then your new Christmas toys. So that means all of your other toys are put away, and all you have are your new Christmas toys for the next 3 months. Just the new Christmas toys. Then those go put away, and you take out another set of toys and another set of toys. Now, if I were you, I would probably divide them out. If your kids played with dolls, or if your kids played with trucks or cars, you know, don't put all the cars in one bin. Divide out all the cars, all the trucks, all the, you know. But then if you have sets of things like Legos, keep all your Legos together. Your most favorite, cherished items like that. My kids play, my son's two favorite things were race cars and Legos. So those two things pretty much stayed out year round. The rest of the toys can be seasonal. And to make it really easy, maybe only 15 to 20 toys out at a time. Now your whole set of Legos can be considered one toy. And of course, again, it depends on age, depends on maturity, how much they clean up and don't clean up. You know, if your kids have lots of kids come over all the time and they're always dumping out every single toy your child has, and then your child is overwhelmed when it comes to cleanup time at the end of the session, or all the kids are overwhelmed and they don't want to help clean up at the end of their playtime, then you might have too many toys. You know, don't make it so overwhelming. Make it easy for cleanup. Have just enough toys to where it takes them 5 minutes to clean up and they don't have all these teeny little bits and pieces that they have to clean up. Legos all in one bin, or they can lay out a sheet so that if any Legos fall out of the bin, it's easy to collect and dump back into the Lego box. There are lots of different ways to organize Legos. Maybe that should be a whole segment on its own. But anyway, let me just read through my notes real quick for you. Toys can be divided by 3 seasons, with new Christmas toys being the 4th season, and swap out every 3 months. Again, we're back to the cube bins on the cubed shelf. I also have seen multicolored baskets with handles on the cube shelf. That was adorable. But the cube bins or baskets with handles for different categories of toys, play with one basket at a time. Only have enough toys that if the kids dump out all the toys at once, it's easy for them and not overwhelming to clean up. We already said 15 to 20 toys. Lego collection, considered one toy. Now, hobbies. And I'm talking about actually extracurricular activities like ballet, sports, or collections of things like the Legos, or maybe a whole collection of Nerf guns, or musical instruments, or guitars, or balls, or ballet stuff. Keep all the clothes for those extracurricular activities all together in a bin so that they're easy to find the next time you go. Keep all of those activities together, categorized. I saw Cass from Clutterbug making pegboards for all her son's Nerf guns, but pegboards can be used for crafts. It can be used for a lot of different items. Pegboards are great. Of course, and again, for Legos, they can be in a bin, or they can be in those round circular mats and with the drawstring, and then when it's time to clean up, it becomes a bag. Or they can have a tote bag with handles for the Legos for easy moving around and cleanup. Under bed storage for Legos, or toys, or board games, puzzles. All of that can fit under the bed. Back to board games. You know, try to only have 3 board games and 3 boxes of puzzles, so they're not overwhelmed. Stacked on a shelf or bin under the bed, color code the backs of the puzzles Once the puzzle is put together the very first time, have that whole thing flipped over and then color on the back so that you know what they go to, or just put a number on the back. 1s on every single puzzle, the other puzzle 2s, the other puzzle 3s, and something to indicate, or just one mark color, so you know which puzzles, if they get mixed up, which ones go with which. Crafts, these items can be stored in a rolling cart, so you can either move that cart to the kitchen table or to a desk in your room or a table in their room. Craft supplies work really great in a rolling cart, and it can be a 3-tiered cart, or it can be a multi-drawered cart on wheels. Those work perfectly. So then again, like I said, these zones can overlap somewhat, but you may have to have an office zone, and I call it office zone because grown-ups as well as children, you can call it an office. Maybe children will feel a little more grown up when they do their homework in their office. You have a hook next to their desk or next to the door in leaving the bedroom for their backpack, or maybe the towels and the backpacks all can be hung on a hook on the back of their bedroom door. That works. And then you've got your desk for your computer. I would prefer a laptop for my children because I wouldn't want any electronic devices left in their room, TVs or computers left in their rooms through the night, because I like to be able to monitor what they see. But then you'll have all their daily used, most used office supplies there at their desk. If you have a drawer, organize it with drawer dividers. If you have no drawer, some containers on your desk, but make sure it's nice and neat. It can be clear containers if they need to be able to see what's in the containers, or it can be baskets so you can't see what's in it and they're labeled so you know what's in each basket. Whatever works for you, but just have their everyday essentials in the desk. Have all the other stuff like their craft supplies and all other stuff in that rolling craft cart, or homework cart, whatever you designate that cart. It can be a craft and homework cart, or it can just be a homework cart. Again, those carts can be rolled out to the kitchen table or rolled up to your desk. And then when you're not using your desk, it can be rolled away or rolled into a closet. And then all your computer games, you can even have those on a rolling cart or in a basket. Just remember, don't overdo it. You don't need an overabundance of stuff. If you can't keep it organized and you can't keep it clean, then you need less stuff. Now the quiet zone. I love this. I've got some good ideas for you here. I saw a video. Now it is very expensive, so no need to go this route if you can't, but I thought it was a beautiful idea. There's a company called now I wish I remember. Let's see, I can't remember. Bedding. Well, look up kids bedding. I'll put a link down below, but it's a kids bedding that's everything all in one. It's the fitted sheet, it's the comforter, pillowcases, and pillow shams, if depending on the size of your bed, and everything's all in one. It's kind of like a huge sleeping bag that is fitted. and you put it over your bed, and you can zip it up when it's time to make the bed. If you are the type that want your feet to hang out, you can unzip it enough for your feet to be mobile. You can zip the whole top off, or you can zip the whole top on. But everything's all in one. You wash it all in one. It's easy to put on, easy to take off for washing. And for making your bed, you just zip it up, and there's no tucking and pulling and none of that. It's really cool. But anyway, make their beds easy for them to make. Just a comforter or a blanket and a pillow and sheets, so they can just shake and roll. Only 2 sets of sheets are needed per child. It can be stored in a bin under their bed. Use their bed for under bed storage if you absolutely need to. But use it for stuff like sheets, Legos, books, coloring books, shoes, quiet activities. Again, we're going to talk about books. Divide the books by season and have one basket or bin or wall shelf next to your bed, so your kids can read in bed, they can color in bed. Have quiet activities by their bed accessible. If they have a bunk bed, you can attach a basket to the side of their bed or to the wall. Divide books by season, rotate by season, store on a wall shelf, bookshelf, bin, basket next to bed or under the bed. And now we're at stuffed animals. Have a bin or basket of stuffed animals next to their bed. You may only want them to have 3 stuffed animals on their bed. You know, I've seen beds covered in stuffed animals. That makes the bed hard to make every day. Just put 1 stuffed animal, or at the max 3 on a bed. The rest can go in a bin next to the bed so that they're right there ready for quiet play or snuggles. They can switch out their own, whichever one they want to sleep with, or that basket can look like a little bed where they're all sleeping in the basket next to them. You know, make it fun. But stuffed animals can be stored near the bed. Limit the number to maybe 3 on the bed, and the others can be stored. They've got those nets, or they call them stuffed animal hammocks, that they can hang on the wall or on a shelf, or hanging baskets and have them in the baskets near their bed. But these are a lot of ideas. I hope that this series was very helpful for you. And I hope you enjoyed all my tips and ideas. You know, if there's too much stuff to clean up, then there's too much stuff. If it's easy to clean up and it stays organized for a whole year, then you know you're on the right track and you've got a system that works for you. All right, guys, I appreciate you for coming and listening to my podcast. I thank you, and I hope to see you on the next podcast, and I will see you later.